Are we recording? I think we're recording. Yep, we're recording. Okay. So, who has questions on the practice set? Caleb had a question. So
Alex just explained it to me.
Alex just explained it to you. Okay. So, I have no responsibility here whatsoever. Is that what you're saying? A couple things I wanted to cover with you guys because we didn't really talk about it in our lesson or on the video for that matter. Let's turn to Section 1.1. Let's say page 11. And I worked with this one with Lyndon earlier in the morning, so we're going to do this again for the class. Number 21.
Yeah.
Number 21. Did that throw anybody for a loop? 21. There we go. 21. The equation is 5x minus 2 equals 0. And it says that A, find the slope and y-intercept if possible. So what form is does this equation take? Standard form, right? Or what the book calls general form. Anyhow, so it takes standard form and we need to convert it to slope-intercept form, right? So let's do that. Let's convert it to slope-intercept form, which takes the form of y equals mx plus b. But I can see something that's going to confuse me right away. What is that? There's no y. So let's, instead of solving for y like we would if we're converting to slope-intercept form, let's solve for x, shall we? Let's see what that looks like. So how would I do that? Violet, what would be my first step? Add the 2. Okay, so then I would get 5x equals 2. And then to isolate the x, Wyatt, what would be my next step?
Divide dx.
By?
5.
5. So I divide both sides by 5. And I get x equals 2 fifths. That doesn't look like slope-intercept form. I don't see a slope. I don't see a y-intercept. What in the wide world of sports is going on? Let's graph it and see what may come, okay? Let's graph this. My content, graph, there, and then boom, boom. I'll move that down there. How you like that? How you like them apples? All right, so I'm going to divide each grid into fifths. So 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. This is 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. That's 1. And that makes this -1. And 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, right? All right, so when I say x equals 2 fifths, let's make my equation red, my line red. So when x equals 2 fifths, that's right here on the number line, right? 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. 2 fifths right there, right? So what point is that? If I labeled that point, how would I label it? 2 fifths, comma 0, right? Does x also equal 2 fifths right here? What is that point? 2 fifths, 2 fifths, right? What about this point right there? 2 fifths, 4 fifths. 2 fifths, 1. Can I go bam, bam, bam? So on a flat number line, right? On a flat number line, x equals 2 fifths is just a dot on a flat number line, right? But on the Cartesian plane, x equals 2/5 is what? Thank you for the adjective. It's a vertical line. A vertical line. And I'm gonna use my line thing. Get my line thing on. Right? Look at that. Straight line. That's my ruler right there. All right. So, vertical line. I'm not going to do it on the board here, but I'll ask you guys, what do you think 23 is going to look like? 23 is 3y plus 5 equals 0. What do you think that one's going to look like? Horizontal line, okay? All right, good. Now, what is the slope of that line that we graphed for number 21?
Undefined.
Why?
Because it doesn't have a slope.
Well, okay. I ask you, what's the slope of that line? What's the slope of this line? Why, Connor? What is the definition of slope? Rise over run. What's the rise on this on a horizontal line? 0. The run is whatever you want it to be, right? What's the rise on this? Whatever you want it to be, right? What's the run? 0. Can we divide by 0? No, we get jazz hands when we try and divide by 0, right? I can't divide by 0. Okay? Make sense? So that's why the slope here is undefined. And you'll see on other problems, 13 and 14, I didn't assign 13 and 14. What am I thinking? I didn't assign 13? I should have done that one. But let's do number 13 real quick. Seeing as how I didn't assign it, I'm not doing your homework for you. So use the point on the line and the slope of the line to find 3 additional points through which the line passes. So if my point is 1, 5, and my slope is undefined, what are 3 additional points through which that line passes? Tyson, give me 1 point.
1, 5.
3 additional points.
I don't know.
Logan?
2 8s.
A point, which means it has to have an X and a Y, right?
2 8.
2 8. No. Remember, this line is, because it has an undefined slope, it is what, Alex?
1, 2.
1, 2 is a point. Why does 1, 2 work? What kind of line is this? Vertical, which means the what is always the same? The X is always the same, right? X is always the same. Remember, class, we are thinking deeply about simple things. Line's pretty simple, right? We're thinking deeply so that we can say, oh, vertical line. I see undefined slope, I know immediately I'm a vertical line. I see 0 slope, I know immediately what? Horizontal line. Okay? We're thinking deeply about simple things. Okay. I heard somebody whining about number 85. Who's gotten to 85? There's somebody in the other section. Don't worry, we're not talking about that person, but anybody get to 85 yet? All right. Worky time. Who has other questions? Okay, get to work. And I am going to pause this. I'm going to